notation. Because mathematicians are notoriously boring and non-creative, we call most of our functions the same name. We call them f for function, okay? And then, after this, in the brackets, what would you expect to see there, usually? Usually an x, right? All that means is, what you've got up here is the name of the function, and over here, the input. Now, because we're saying this is a function and not a relation, right? You would say that this is equal to y. That's your output. And there should just be one of them, okay? But just before we run off from this name and input idea doesn't have to be f, doesn't have to be x, you can do anything you like. So for instance, I could say a of, let's see, r equals. Now what does this mean? You look at it, you recognize it. What's going on? A is what I'm naming this function, okay? What's it short for? Area. And more specifically, area of, right. Now, the area of a circle is a function. You put in an input, there's only going to be one output, right? So your input is your radius, right? That's your input. Okay? And there's your output. There's your, what the actual area is, okay? So because this is a function, if you've got two circles, and they both have radius 5, they're going to have the one area, because it's just one output. Make sense? Okay, so just carrying on from here, right? How does function notation work? All you really have to get is that if you stick a number in here like that, I said radius 5. How do you actually evaluate this? What do you do? Yeah, it's just substitution, right? That's all it is. So everywhere you used to see r, you stick a 5 in. That's all. Now, just before I leave off it, I extended this way and said, you know, functions can be named anything you like, and these inputs can be anything you like. You can also have functions which have multiple inputs, right? So you could say, actually, let's go back to A. No, let's do V. Let's do V. You tell me. Volume of a cylinder, thank you. But of course, the volume of a cylinder doesn't depend on just one input. You need two things, right? You've got to know how tall it is too, okay? So sometimes you'll see this, don't get thrown off. You're like, what do I do? There's lots of things in there, I'm not used to this, okay? All it means is those are your inputs. Still one output, still a function.